Creativity and Zen have a very strong connection, I think, which I will get to in a minute. Creativity is a word that has many definitions. The onboard dictionary on this laptop defines it as the use of the imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artistic work. When you search online for creativity, you currently get 622 million results and counting. Creativity is generally associated with activities that are culturally defined as creative in nature, such as an artistic work. But creativity is also associated with doing something unfamiliar, as in my recording this video. I have to be creative in the way I go about it, having never done it before. This way, at least. As I get used to doing it, I have to be creative in order to continue bringing a fresh perspective to what has become a familiar activity. In ordinary everyday patterns of behavior, a new twist is considered creative, such as adding a touch of color to our wardrobe. Men, it is said, can be creative in their selection of a tie to wear with a shirt and suit, although this is becoming outmoded in an age of new generation startups and business. Women can wear pretty much whatever they please in today's professional climate. In the arts and design, including advertising and marketing, creativity has a more focused function, aiding the development of innovation. Our definitions of creativity are tied to the process of generating the new, whether a product, a service, or a program. In design training, we stress intentional creative processes as methods of developing the new. We study the method itself, which is known as methodology, as a meta-level of creativity, and name them, such as the familiar brainstorming. With experience, we refine our approach to assure more efficient and effective achievement of results. We refer to this as controlled chaos, as it requires a delicate balance between blue sky out-of-the-box thinking and applicable results. Thus, creativity is essential to problem solving in the business context as well as daily life. Such practices are well known and highly developed, as is testified to the amount of information available online. So, the creative problem solving becomes a matter of reducing the many variations on a theme down to its essence, finding simplicity in the complexity. Brainstorming, for example, in a group, or mind mapping as an individual, proceeds through recognizable stages to reach a conclusion, whether writing a book or city planning. Some basic definitions of creativity come out of this process. One is expressed as synergy, which can be defined as a new and unusual combination of two things. A third new thing or meaning emerges that is not inherent in either of the two components, viewed separately, but only in their combination. A familiar example is a picture or illustration combined with a caption or text. Each can modify and enhance the meaning of the other. Another is called synectics, the engagement in the irrelevant on the chance that it might just turn out to be relevant. This is the rationale for suspending judgment in brainstorming sessions, or for allowing a focus group to wander off subject from time to time. Another definition of the creative process that I want to introduce here, though, is expressed as making the familiar strange. Its corollary is making the strange familiar, which is one way of defining a marketing program for a new product. This idea is also the most direct connection of creativity to Zen, I think, and the reason I consider Zen meditation to be the central method of creativity. In design school, one of the exercises is to take the most familiar mark you make every day, your signature, and use it as a repeat element in a composition. That is, you simply repeat your signature over and over on a large sheet of paper with a marker that may be a large pen, crayon, or even a rag dipped in ink, for 20 minutes or so. When the time is up, the various studies are pinned to the wall and critiqued as to the creativity that this person or that student came up with in executing the assignment. Some turn into dense textures, others wild and extravagant large-scale flourishes. Common to all is that your signature is no longer a familiar thing taken for granted. It has changed, and your attitude towards your own signature has changed as well. The familiar has become strange. The connection to Zen may be obvious to you, but let me just say that the most familiar thing of all is our own consciousness. Mine may be different from yours and vice versa, but we all have been living with our sensory awareness, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, since early childhood. It has become familiar to us as the self, the sum total of who we are and what we feel and think, etc. In Zen meditation, we simply sit still enough for long enough until our own consciousness begins to change. Like any creative process, this is a form of immersion. But instead of immersing ourselves in engaging paint, stone, words and images, or any other medium, the medium of immersion is awareness itself. Consciousness observes or studies consciousness itself through the medium of consciousness. What is surprising is that what we think we know about our own awareness is revealed to be limited, incomplete. As new vistas open up in seeing, feeling, hearing, and thinking, this kind of refreshing of awareness goes with us into the world and even the workplace. Personal awareness expands and enhances our interactions with others, allowing a more creative response to situations that arise and problems to be solved. Ironically, for the creative mind to function freely and fully, it has to take a break once in a while, or it tends to lock up, like a muscle that is overexerted. This is why I consider Zen meditation, the simplest form of just sitting, to be the heart of creativity. And this is why we admire simplicity of design, whether in the arts, business, or science, as being Zen-like.